will bury me down. I've had my trials here below. Trouble will bury me down. Oh, brethren, pour me.
Denyce, I am in my orchard and in my garden. Time to get cooking. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I have many times publicly shared the story of what inspired and moved me to pursue a career in opera and vocal performance, which I consider to be audacious and a bold risk that has little to do with loving to sing, actually. I heard Leontyne Price sing from her Prima Donna collection when I was 14 years old and a student at the Duke Ellington School of the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. And in the first phrase of Mi chiamano Mimi, I was motionless. By the time we got to the end of the aria, I was completely reshaped and transformed. I have over these many years had the tremendous honor a few times to hold a private audience with Miss Price, or Miss Priceless, as I call her. And I've expressed to her directly how hearing her sing changed my whole self-concept and directed my course. Wanting to endeavor to be like her put me on a particular and specific path. And along this walk, still, she remains in my front vision and moves and excites me like no one else. In speaking with Miss Price, I learned that she too had the same reaction after hearing a singer when she was a young girl. At 9 years old in Jackson, Mississippi, she heard the great lady and the great artist, Marian Anderson. She said that she knew instinctively when this regal artist came out on the wings that she too wanted someday to walk like that, to stand like that, and to hopefully maybe even sound somewhere near that. Well, I think we can all agree that that all turned out very well. This summer, I had a conversation with the great American lyric baritone Cheryl Milnes, and I expressed to him that even though he and I have become friendly over the years because of working together, I still say to myself, holy moly, I'm hanging out with Cheryl Milnes. And he expressed to me that he felt the very same when he became friends with a hero of his, Robert Merrill, and that later, after much time and interaction, he began addressing him as Bob. We all become part of creating families, and we are all, each one of us, a role model, whether we choose the title or the responsibility or not. It is part of the exchange and the cost of this privilege. The young ones are watching us. They watch how we walk, they watch how we talk, and how we interact. They watch what we do, how we treat others, and how we treat ourselves. And those of us who are on the stage have a particular responsibility. We know that art can inspire, and when you create something beautiful for yourself, you have no idea how far-reaching that can become and to whom it might touch. Art moves the human story and the process of evolution. It advances our individual journeys. The spirit of music and art pays itself forward. So today, on Sunday, October 25th, this weekend sees global celebrations for World Opera Day at opera companies that have come together to present their work and to share ideas about what opera, musical theater, song, and culture mean to them, their audiences, and their communities, and the benefits that opera brings to the society as a whole. The idea is to show that opera is alive and well in spite of these particularly tough and challenges presented by COVID-19 and in the global shutdown of the lives and the performances in theaters. Today, on Cooking with Denyce, I have a student of mine, Simone Brown, whom I met when she was in the children's chorus at Washington National Opera. Years later, she became a student of mine at the Peabody Conservatory. It has become more often the case, more than I had imagined, that I have welcomed students into my studio with whom I've had some brush peripherally. I was their role model and inspiration, and what is beginning to happen is happening in their lives as well. Younger people are hearing their artistry for the first time and setting out on a path inspired by their singing and the persons and the artists that they are becoming. From generation to generation, each one teaches one. Marian Anderson said that she was dedicated to making the road easier for other African American singers, and her success did in fact pave the way forward. Today's episode is called Sugar, Spice, and Leontyne Price. We welcome from their kitchens my student Simone Brown and her alias Princess Tiana, and my sweet sugar and spice and nice, everything nice 6-year-old goddaughter, Chloe, who will join us later in the broadcast. Right now, this is Simone's story.
Hello, my name is Simone Brown. I am an opera singer, a musical theater performer, a part-time teacher, and of course, the founder of Black Princess Parties DMV.
Et puis, la va danser. Pour le premier menouille, si c'est vous que je compte. Ah, un sombre visage. Mais aujourd'hui, Monsieur Werther, tout le monde est joyeux, les bonheurs est dans l'air. Tes soleil, plat de fleurs, dans l'azur esplodissant, la paix et clarté descend de nos fronts jusqu'à notre âme. Tout le monde est joyeux, le bonheur est dans l'air. Et l'oiseau qui monte au ciel dans la brise qui soupire est revenu pour nous dire que
off in Silver Spring and was very lucky to have the kind of family that supported me and my pursuit of the arts. I was in voice lessons since I was really little, doing professional and community theater, having lots of performance options and opportunities. I went on to pursue my bachelor's at Xavier University of Louisiana, which is a historically Black college, which was an amazing experience for me. I then went on to receive my master's from Peabody, where I was studied with my teacher, Denyce Graves. The first time I met Denyce, I was very little, and I was singing in the opera chorus at the Kennedy Center, a production of Carmen, where Denyce was, of course, singing so beautifully. And it was the first time that I got to see someone who looked like me in a professional field that I really enjoyed. My love of opera began when I was pretty young. And the first time I met her, it was at the end of the show. Everything was wrapping up. It was our last curtain call. I snuck a program into my costume along with a little marker to sneak up to her to get an autograph. And it was so lovely. I still have that program today. But that experience, that moment of seeing her as Carmen at the Kennedy Center was a feeling that inspired in many ways my company, Black Princess Parties DMV. I hope that my company will give young Black children a face to their imagination. We're all told when we're young that we can be anything we want to be. We can be the president, we can be an astronaut, you can be a princess. But for a young child, it's really hard when you don't see someone who looks like you in the field that you love to envision that as your future. So I hope that my company, Black Princess Parties DMV, can offer that to Black children all over the country, anywhere. I also hope that the company can be used as a tool to learn about bias, to learn about how not having that representation in the media affects children of color, Black children in particular. And I also hope that for myself, performers, we are not limiting ourselves. We are having all the opportunities imaginable to perform, to be any character we can be, because we're talented, because we know the role, because we fit in every single solitary way, and our skin color should not stop us from being whoever we want to be. So today I am so excited to cook with my teacher, Denyce Graves. We'll be making some gumbo and some beignets, and there'll be some other surprises along the way. I'm looking forward to it.
Hello, Princess Tiana. Can you hear me there? I don't think you can hear me. Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me. You look beautiful, though. You look beautiful.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay, now we're good. Very, very good. Hello, Princess Tiana, and welcome. So there seems to be some issue maybe with the sound.
I'm hearing you.
You're having a hard time here. Well, one of the first surprise is that look at who I have in the kitchen with me today. My own little princess. We were hardcore with the princesses in our house. We loved all of them. And did Disney, I don't know how many times, but this was, in fact, we both live in the DMV area. And on 495 there where they have the Mormon Tabernacle, when Ella was really little, and when we passed by, she asked us what that building was, and we told her that was Cinderella's castle. And to this day, we still call it that. We call it Cinderella's castle. Every time we go by, my husband will be somewhere, and he'll say, I'm by Cinderella's castle, I'm almost there. So anyway, Simone, we're going to get started with some gumbo because the gumbo needs time. It needs time to sit, and it needs time for the flavor to come into it. Are you hearing me at all, Simone?
I can hear you now.
All right, very good. So you want to tell us why it is that we're doing this, Princess Tiana?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Well, no, I am from New York, and one of the signature New Orleans foods is going to be gumbo. If you've seen my movie, you know that my favorite thing to cook is gumbo. So today, we are using a very special recipe, but made by none other than the Leontyne Price. But of course, we're going to put our own little spin on it.
Very good. All right. You know, because gumbo takes some time and getting the roux is so important, my own little princess got the roux going over here in our place, so we've got our roux going. Do you have that already? I believe that everybody should have the recipe. And by the way, the recipe that we are using today, because this episode is called Sugar, Spice, and Leontyne Price, this is from the Metropolitan Opera's cookbook. And this particular recipe is from the Madame Price herself. So this is her recipe with a few tweaks in it, right?
Yes.
Very good. So I think that Miss Simone, Princess Tiana, I've got things going over here. We should put the Holy Trinity for the Cajun food, which is onion, green pepper, and celery. So Ella, would you be kind enough to put that in the roux?
Yeah, sure.
All right, very good. I am cooking up some okra because the okra has to be in gumbo. Not everybody likes okra in their gumbo, and I believe that people who are watching us at home, you should have the recipe there. But okra is an essential thing that's got to get in there, but also the roux is super, super important. And so that can be butter, it can be oil, like a high burning oil, like canola oil, and basically flour. And you brown that and you just keep stirring it. Once you start that roux, you can't leave. You have to continue to stir. It's supposed to get copper like a penny. And then you can add in your vegetables, which is what we're doing now. But I'm also cooking some of my, I'm cooking some of the okra already to get that going. All right?
I'm planning on adding my okra at the end.
Yeah, I'm just cooking the okra now because I had some fresh okra.
Oh.
Are you using, you can use fresh okra or, of course, frozen okra. But I'm using fresh okra, and so I'm cooking that to sort of get it slimy and get it ready for the gumbo.
Yes, it does have to be a little slimy, which I think that's why sometimes people don't love okra in their gumbo, but it is necessary. It is
Because
so necessary for their
that's right, Princess Tiana, because a gumbo means okra, doesn't it?
You got to get your veggies in there somewhere, of course.
You got to get your veggies in there somewhere, all right? So I know that, Princess Tiana, that you went to school in Louisiana. And did you have a lot of gumbo?
Oh, I did. I went
did.
to Xavier University of Louisiana. It's a historically black college and university. I studied voice there, and I got to experience all that New Orleans has to offer. So Mardi Gras and Oktoberfest, all of the wonderful festivals that they have there. I got to eat so many different kinds of Cajun foods. So it's so wonderful that I get to make some today. I haven't had it in so long.
Yummy. I wish I could come to your house. Now, listen, where are you in the process? We've just put in some onion. We've put in green pepper and celery. I'm going to add in some garlic, too. Miss Price's recipe calls for 1 garlic, I think, and I'm putting in 7. Don't tell.
Well,
Because
1 garlic is never enough. So even though I measured according to the recipe, of course, because I had to add my own special twig. So I have some Creole seasoning here, some fresh parsley, some oregano, a couple extra bay leaves, and of course, much more than 1 garlic clove.
So I think so too. And then once those vegetables get sort of like translucent a little bit, then you can add in your protein. In Leontyne Price's recipe, she does shrimp and crab meat, which we have today. But I think I'm also going to add a little bit of andouille sausage in there.
Yes.
And some chicken also. So this is Miss Price's recipe, but we're doing a little bit of a tweak to it. Ella, can you put some garlic in there?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. We've got that going. I also sometimes put in some spring onion, just because that's wonderful. But you can also use that to garnish on the top. But it's important that we get this going because gumbo takes a while. It needs to sit, it needs to integrate, and you need to let all those flavors combine and just start happening, right?
Absolutely.
Very, very good. So I think that while we do this, we'll have Ella tell about the very first giveaway that we're going to do today. Ella, do you want to tell us that?
Sure. So the first giveaway we're doing today, I'm going to ask a question, and it's the same deal as usual. Whoever emails back with the correct answer. So the question...
But also, make sure that you email us your address along with the correct answer, okay?
Okay. So make sure to email along with your address so that we'll know who to ship it to.
cookingwithdenise@gmail.
cookingwithdenise@gmail. So the question is, how old was Leontyne when she first heard Marian Anderson? We spoke a little bit about that at the very beginning. So the question is, how old was Leontyne when she first heard Marian Anderson? And the prize for that answer is a Leontyne Price children's book. Here it is. Telling the story of Aida. So go ahead and just email us at cookingwithdenise@gmail.com.
Yeah.
To receive this children's book. So
Not that one, but another one.
A copy of it, not this exact one.
Okay. That one was your book, Ella.
I know it was.
Remember when I used to read that to you
I
when
do.
you were little?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Okay, Princess Tiana,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you coming along?
I have added my seasonings, my tomatoes. Are you planning on adding your andouille sausage and chicken at this point, or were you going to wait until the end?
I always just put everything in there together.
All right.
I think that the vegetables have to go in there, and then you need to add in your chicken stock, like 2 quarts of chicken stock.
Yep. Chicken stock is in.
Ella, let's put the other quart of chicken stock in there.
All right.
You put your chicken stock in, and you've already put your tomatoes in?
Yes, and I'm going to add a little extra chicken stock from what the recipe said, just because we have that extra andouille sausage and the chicken. So I want to make sure we still have some broth there left over.
And how much tomato sauce are you adding, Princess Tiana? About 2 cups or?
2 cups. I did 2 cups of the tomatoes.
All right, very good. Okay, so we're going to add that too. I want to get that going so that can cook while we're going through the broadcast, and then we can get going on the beignets as well.
Yeah.
So, okay, very good. We're going to get that going. So, Princess Tiana, you may also want to just start getting your oil going for the beignets because once we. Oh, well, indeed. Very, very good. All right, is that all going over there, Ella?
Yep, that's all in there.
All right, so let's put in one of the cans of tomato.
All right.
We're going to put that in there. Very, very good. And then while Ella's doing that, we'll go to the second giveaway.
All right.
The second giveaway is, which performing arts high school did I go to? Which performing arts high school did I go to? That's the second giveaway today. Again, email at cookingwithdenise@gmail.com. The prize for that, would you like to tell them what that prize is going to be, Princess Tiana? That's going to be...
I'd love to. Well, I was going to say I know the answer, can I win a special storybook? But this special prize is going to be from me and my company, Black Princess Parties DMV. So whoever can answer this question will receive a cup of free virtual story time with any princess you desire. So it could be me, Princess Tiana, or any of the other princesses that we offer at Black Princess Parties DMV.
What a prize that is. For any of the young girls or young boys in your life who may be interested in that, hurry up and get your answer in to cookingwithdenise@gmail.com so that you can have your own private session with Princess Tiana or whomever, whichever other princess you may enjoy. Ella, could you put in some of the andouille sausage?
All of it?
I'll put it all in there.
Okay.
Put it all in there. We're going. We're cooking over here because we gotta get this party on the road. And then we're gonna add in some shrimp and some crab meat. I can sometimes be allergic to crab meat, but
sometimes
that's not gonna happen today.
Well, let's hope not.
Princess Tiana, how have you been keeping busy during this time?
Well, mostly I have been spending time at home. I've been reading a lot of wonderful books for myself and with other people virtually. I have been singing. I've been cooking. I have been taking some lovely walks and enjoying the outdoors as I can safely. I know right now sometimes it's a little hard to do the things we're used to, but I'm really happy that I've been able to still do some of the things that I enjoy. And what
Wonderful.
have you been up to, Miss Graves?
Well, I've been singing and I've been,
I'm sure.
yes, and singing and teaching and cooking and working with young people, the next generation of singers. That excites me so much, and I have such a great time all the time doing that. My own daughter is actually singing as well. She's interested in musical theater, but so that's been a real pleasure and a joy for me that she got this bug and this talent that's been running through my family for many generations now. So I'm so excited about that, and I'm happy.
That's exciting.
I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her as she journeys forward, and I hope that she'll be able to return to her school at some point. At the moment, she's still at home, but we will see what happens with all of that.
Yeah.
I think that all right. How is your gumbo? Do you think you can leave it now, or?
Yes, I can.
All right. Should we get going with the beignets?
I think so.
Okay, because the gumbo needs some time.
All right.
All of that stuff needs to cook together and come together. All right? So while that is happening, we're going to get going with the beignets.
Is there a lid to this pot? Or?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Oh, that looks gorgeous. But you know what, Ella, can you just check and see? You want to add in the, why don't you tell the audience about this particular recipe while I add in some seasoning?
Sure. Okay. So this recipe we found on the Food Network, and it's for beignets, but they have banana in them. So what we did pretty much up until this point is that we put our dry ingredients, which is like flour and sugar and baking powder and all that stuff, in one bowl, and then the wet ingredients, which is the banana and milk and egg in another, and we're going to go ahead and combine the two. Then when that becomes like a dough texture, we're going to roll it in some cinnamon sugar, and then we're going to put them in the oil, just like you would, I guess, with any other beignet recipe, but this is interesting because we're going to put some banana in it, which is new.
Well, I think it's important with the added banana. Sometimes that can make the dough on the inside not seem like it's quite ready. So don't add more banana. I think this particular recipe, which everybody should have, it's going to be on Linktree. This particular recipe calls for a half a cup, which is about one banana, I think. It was about one banana,
About
Ella?
one overripe banana.
About one overripe banana. And don't do more than that, because sometimes, and of course you don't have to do it with a banana, but we decided today, because we're working also with young people, and some of the focus today is going to be on the next generation, that we wanted to do many beignets, right? So because we've got our sweet little Chloe coming up soon. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll let Ella start adding the wet and the dry ingredients together. And I'm going to take the okra that I've been cooking on the back stove and add that to the gumbo. How are you doing, Princess?
I am whisking up my wet ingredients now. So I have my egg, I think there was an option for banana extract. Add that one.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
I added some vanilla instead.
Oh, very
Not a bad
nice.
idea.
That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. I'm going to use some. I think Price's recipe calls for some real thyme and also parsley. I'm going to add some of that to the gumbo as well. All those flavors, you just keep building layers of flavor, which is so important. I love this kind of a dish because you can just add all the different things that you enjoy. I love big pots of something, and I love something that also, you know, you can have for a couple of days and it gets better as time goes on. So I like that. I think that is particularly around my house, you know, when people come through the door, or my kids come through and they say there's nothing to eat, or I want something to eat, where you can have something right there that's a complete and delicious and hearty meal. Okay, very, very good. I'm wondering now, while we get that ready, if we should bring on Miss Chloe.
Absolutely. Now is a perfect time to bring on Miss Chloe.
Okay.
I've dried wet ingredients, so I'm almost ready to start my cooking.
So
Okay, so let's bring on Miss Chloe. Hello, Chloe.
Hi.
How are you, beautiful girl?
Yes.
Well, look who was kind enough to join us today, Chloe. We have a real live fairy princess with us today.
Let me take off my apron. I'm going to focus on you right now. Hello, Princess Chloe. How are you today?
Hi.
Good, good. It's so good to see you. And how old are you, Princess Chloe?
6.
6? Oh, that's a perfect age. I love your dress, by the way.
Thank you.
Would you like to maybe sing a little song with me? Yes? Is that a yes?
Sure.
Sure. I think you might know this one, okay? Mama, I don't have time for dancing. That's just gonna have to wait a while. Ain't got time for messing around, and it's not my style. This whole town can slow you down, people taking the easy way. But I know exactly where I'm going, getting closer and closer every day, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. People around here think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Trials and tribulations, you know I've had my share. There ain't nothing gonna stop me now, 'cause I'm almost there. You gonna sing along with me, Chloe? I remember Daddy told me fairy tales can come true. You gotta make them happen, it all depends on you. So I work real hard each and every day. Now things for sure are going my way. Just doing what I do. Look out, boys, I'm coming through, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. People gonna come here from everywhere, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Those are some great dance moves, Chloe. There's been trials and tribulations. You know I've had my share. But I've climbed the mountain, I've crossed the river, and I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Woo-hoo!
I couldn't quite hear you, but I saw you dancing. Were you singing along with me? A little bit? Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Engage with us a little later.
Chloe, do you know what you'd like to be when you grow up? Do you have any ideas?
Maybe Ariel.
Maybe Ariel.
Oh, right.
I love Princess Ariel. I love how she likes to sing and swim, spend time at the beach. Do you like to go to the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just like to make sure no sharks are in the water.
Well, yes, sharks can be dangerous for sure in the water. We want to make sure we stay away from that. And jellyfish sometimes can be a little scary. But otherwise, I love being in the ocean, and so does Princess Ariel.
Have to do that, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right, Princess Tiana, should we get going with the beignets?
I think we should. My dough is all ready to go here, and I think my oil's nice and hot.
Very good. Just before we get going, Princess, let's do one more giveaway. Ella, do you want to
Sure.
tell us about that? The third giveaway? Is it the third giveaway now?
Yes, we're at the third giveaway.
Okay.
All right, the third giveaway. So the question is, what breed of dog do we have at my house right now? You can't see her, which I suppose is good. But
They've seen her
you've
a
seen
lot
her in
other
general.
episodes.
So what breed of dog is it? And so whoever answers that will get a Leontyne Price adult coloring book in the mail. So, lots of pictures, maybe recounting her life and everything, and just, take time, relax, color it in. So the question is, what breed of dog does Denyce have?
All right, very good. Okay, Princess Tiana, is it beignet time?
It is beignet time.
Let me ask you this. How is your batter?
It's a little runny, but I started to go ahead and place the batter in the oil here. And as they start frying, they look great.
It's about 15 seconds or so, I think, once your oil is really hot.
So I have a little scoop here so I can turn them. They're not as symmetrical as the little photo that we had, but they look. I think this is it. I think we got it.
All right, terrific. Show me yours and
Here we
I'll
go.
show you mine. Okay,
I think it's going to be like
it's
that.
gonna be.
And we'll see
My
what happens.
first one's out here.
Oh boy, is that great fun. When I was a student in college, one of the things that I used to do was make donuts.
Oh, really?
One of the many jobs that I have. I see that someone's posed a question. Oh, Dave Legacy, just amazing. Another wonderful show and with a beautiful and talented young woman. So that's Dave Legacy, everybody, from the Salt Table, where you can go to www.salttable.com and order some of your magic opera blend that was created specifically for this show by Dave and Carol Legacy. So do go there to get some of that. It's delicious. I've used it in the gumbo today. But how's it going
Look
over
at
there,
those.
Ella?
It took like all of 2 seconds.
It took all of 2 seconds. All right, very good. You're gonna put them on that thing there. All right, it's happening over here, but then it's got to roll in the
In the sugar.
All right, things are going over here. Very, very good. This is going to be a delicious thing. Ella, you're going to roll it in the...
Can I show you my first
Like
three,
now?
or you guys are...
I would love to see it.
All
Like right
right.
this second. I thought.
Here we are. Here are my beignets. I've tossed them in cinnamon sugar here. They're not quite round all the way, but I'm sure they'll taste just the same.
That is terrific looking. My gosh, I wish I were there to have some of those. The ones that you
I'm
made.
so excited to taste them.
Sometimes things, I think, taste better at other people's houses,
Oh, I completely agree.
The batter, again, is really loose. The consistency is really loose, but it does come together once it hits that oil. You can get that oil like 375 degrees if you've got a candy thermometer or something like that. You want to turn those over, Ella?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, they need to turn over. They go rather quickly.
Very quick. So I feel I'm only putting a couple in at a time here, and then I'm also moving my pots around a bit. I'm going to simmer my gumbo a little further away from me, and I'm going to move my beignet batter a little closer so I don't have to worry about making a mess.
See you later. Love you.
What's that, Chloe?
Thank you. See you later. I love you.
Did you miss it?
I missed that.
We didn't hear you, Chloe.
Thank you, Godmommy. Thank you, Tiana. I'll see you later.
See you later. Thank you for coming, Chloe. I appreciate that so much.
It was so
Oh,
nice
we
to
love
meet
you too,
Princess.
sweetheart. What a big girl you are and how much you've grown since I've seen you the last time. You've grown up so, and you're such a big sister now. You've got a little brother and a little sister. You're
Yeah.
yes, you do. And what a big help you are to them, to your mom and your dad, I know. Ella, yeah.
I'm trying to move fast.
Very good. So, Princess Tiana, can you tell me how you arrived at this idea? I'm so very proud of you for arriving at this idea to create your own business. How did that happen?
Well, following graduation, myself, Simone Brown, not Princess Tiana, was applying and working in the opera field as best that I could. But I found the young artist process is sometimes a little slow and can be disheartening. You might not be performing as much as you're used to coming right out of, say, grad school or undergraduate school. So I grew up doing musical theater. I decided to come back to that. A friend that I was in another production with mentioned that she worked in doing princess parties as one of her performance jobs that she had. And I thought, well, that's a wonderful idea. I love princesses and Disney and singing and interacting with children. That sounds like something I would really enjoy doing. So I reached out to a couple of local companies, but in the Disney canon, there is only one Black princess, and that is Tiana, who is here with you guys today. And because of that, that meant that my options were a little limited when it came to hiring with other companies. But I did not want to limit what I was able to do. I was qualified, I felt, in every way, studying voice, working as a performer, working as a teacher as well. So I love working with children. But because there's only the one Black princess, I was missing some of the opportunities. So I felt that I would start my own company and perform as all of the princesses. Because for myself as a young person, I enjoyed all of the Disney movies. It did not matter to me their skin color, their race. And I felt particularly drawn as a young person to Ariel because she loved to sing and she was a mermaid and I loved swimming. I felt particularly drawn to Belle because of her love of books. And as I was in high school when Princess and the Frog first came out, and Tiana is such a hard worker, and she's so strong and beautiful and has an amazing mind for business. So that also was inspiring to me to start my own, in which I would be any and every princess that my brain or heart could desire. So for young children who look at these movies and see themselves in these princesses, at no point will they say to themselves that this is not for them. And that's what I hope to provide at Black Princess Parties DMV, a place for young children to look at their princess and say, wow, she looks just like me. It was an amazing experience that I had as a young singer, seeing Miss Graves, as I mentioned before. So it's something that I would like to offer to the younger generation as well.
I'm so proud of you. That's so wonderful. I remember how excited I was when I learned about that. I'm just so enormously proud of you for being entrepreneurial and getting out there and creating what it is that your heart desires, because that's the whole point for all of us, for everyone here, is to allow nothing to impede whatever it is that your heart can dream of, that you dream of. You can achieve that, right? So that's so important. That's wonderful. I think my beautiful husband's around. I don't know if he wants to try a beignet or not. And I think that we've got maybe some bread that's going to be ready too. We're just about getting there. We've got another giveaway. Ella, do you want to tell us about the fourth giveaway?
All right, so the fourth and final giveaway, well, I'll tell you the question first. The question is, how old was Denyce when she heard Leontyne Price sing? So that was at the beginning of the episode as well, when she was telling the story of her and her friend in the library. How old was Mom when she heard Leontyne? And the gift...
Now, don't laugh. Don't laugh. I know you're going to laugh. And I know that people probably don't have any of these anymore. I'm sure you don't have these anymore. But the prize is a CD bundle, right? Of me, of a piece called, a CD called Kaleidoscope that I did sort of crossover material on. And then also in that is the Christmas CD that I did many years ago, along with a spiritual CD and along with a memorial CD that I did after 9/11. The song that I recently sang at the final services for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, American Anthem, which is written by Jean Shear, is on this piece and recorded as well. So whoever gets the right answer and emails cookingwithdenyce@gmail.com, you will get, let's say the first 3 people to email that correct answer, you will get a CD bundle, if you still have CDs. I have them. As you could see earlier on, I even have the LPs. I keep all of that because I think that they're wonderful and I enjoy listening to them. So that's the prize. Now, let me see if my husband wants to come in and taste some of this. While let me turn over some of the, are we done here with that?
That was it.
All right, but then,
Right?
Yeah.
It's really hot.
Spectacular.
so I want to
Nice
say
grandma.
something to
I
the
think so, yeah.
audience. Today is the final live recording
Right.
for season 1. We will be here next Sunday, November 1st, with a very, 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 very special episode that I'm very excited about, a holiday special with my entire family. So I'm really looking forward to that, and there are going to be lots of surprises, and there will still be giveaways. There will still be giveaways for next Sunday, November 1st, so please be sure and tune in because you can still play, and it's going to be a beautiful episode. I'm really proud of it and excited. And I'm just going to fry up one last thing. I'm going to fry up some zucchini flowers because in our garden we still have zucchini growing like crazy. We've got butternut squash. I just took the last watermelon the other day. So things are sort of winding down, but there is zucchini just growing and growing and growing and growing. So I'm going to fry up some of the zucchini flowers for our salad, and then we'll see if the good Dr. Robert wants to test some of the beignets.
You tried one
I
already.
had one. It was
I'm going to go ahead and try one of mine as well. I don't have anyone here with me to share, but I'm going to go ahead and give a little one a taste. I'm excited. Oh, wow. That's
spectacular.
delicious.
Look at this weird one.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
They do have some funny shapes.
They do.
Wow.
How's it going over there, Princess?
It's going great. I have a lot more batter than I need for just myself, though.
Really?
These beignets.
The banana part of this is amazing.
It's
Is
way
that right?
better than I thought it was going to be.
And Ella is super, super, super picky. She's super picky.
Really good.
And if she says it's good, then it's good. And it's so easy to make.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have that for the holidays. It doesn't take any time or effort really with that. That goes really fast. I'm just going to fry up a couple of these zucchini flowers, and then we're ready to go. I think we can maybe even start plating if you want to do that. Ella, if you want to take the pot with the rice over and set them on top of the... so we can get that going.
The what?
Because it's time to eat Sunday dinner. Who is this Ann?
Will
Does this mean that there will be a season 2? Oh, thank you for the question. Well, we are working on that. I think so. We're definitely working on this This was a very spontaneous creation, but we have loved it, and the response has been tremendous. We have now over 200,000 viewers, which has been overwhelming. We've just been so grateful for the response. And I think that we will transition over to YouTube while we prepare for season 2. We will have some reruns of all these different episodes and some nice little extra surprises coming to you through YouTube as well. But yes, stay tuned for season 2. We have lots of people already lined up who are interested in joining us in the kitchen, and we are incredibly grateful. So, where are we now?
Well, have a look at these, because this must be seen.
Awesome.
Isn't it
Can't
spectacular?
wait. Oh, that's
See that?
Nanachika, to hang out with you and your family for a while. Oh, wonderful. All right, terrific. I think we're just about ready to plate up and eat here. How's it going on your end, Princess Tiana?
It is going great. I am frying up the last of my beignets here. My rice is already ready to go. I've added my okra.
Oh, yes. Very good. So let me see if I can get, we'll need a spoon, and we'll need, very good. I mean, again, the gumbo is better when it has an hour or more to really just cook and settle and get together.
Sometimes even more than an hour, but it'll be a good taste right now. We can see if we need to add anything, any other seasonings, any other seafood if we have it. I think I still have some shrimp that I'm going to add, but I want to see where it's at right now.
If you can. I actually made some bread too. Someone wrote to me and asked, I made some rosemary bread, and they asked me about the recipe, and I haven't forgotten you. I have seen your email, but I cheated though. It's through the bread maker. So, I mean, I just basically put it together, and the bread maker does all of the work. But I am gonna send that to you.
Can we get a picture of the gumbo here? Look at that. Beautiful.
Whoops. Very good. And then what you can do, you put your rice in, and you can sprinkle a little bit of that on top, and maybe you want to show that to everybody, honey.
See that?
Wow.
Beautiful.
And then we've got some bread here. Very good.
I also forgot to add my filet, a very important gumbo seasoning.
If I will. Suck in.
Oh, is that the idea?
Yeah, you're supposed to suck in.
Supposed to suck in? Is
That's
that
what-
right?
When we were in Japan, they said if something's too hot, instead of blowing on it, suck in when you eat it, so that you
that
don't
right?
burn yourself.
Interesting.
And I've just fried up a few zucchini flowers for our salad here.
Wow.
So we've got our salad. We've got a
That good?
couple zucchini flowers on top of that.
Amazing.
That's beautiful. Very nice. Look at that. How gorgeous. And then we've got some bread over here. Very good. And how are you doing, Princess?
Oh my God.
I'm doing great. I finished adding the filet. I have my bowl ready here. I'm gonna turn off my oil pan because I'm all finished with my beignets.
Very good. So, here we go. We've got some nice bread that's just come out of, I don't know if you can get a shot of that, but careful down at the bottom because that's going to have the paddle still in it. While he cuts that up, I just want to read to you a beautiful prayer for children that was written by the great Marian Wright Edelman, who is an American activist for children's rights. I'll just read you this poem, which I love so much. Okay, are we ready for that? We pray for children who sneak popsicles before supper, who erase holes in math workbooks, who can never find their shoes. And we pray for those who stare at photographers
I want that.
from behind barbed wires, who can't bound down the street in a new pair of sneakers, who never counted potatoes, who are born in places we wouldn't be caught dead, who never go to the circus, and who live in an X-rated world. We pray for children who bring us sticky kisses and fistfuls of dandelions, who hug us in a hurry and forget their lunch money. We pray for those who never get dessert, who have no safe blanket to drag behind them, who watch their parents watch them die, who can't find any bread to steal, who don't have any rooms to clean up, whose pictures aren't on anybody's dressers, whose monsters are real. We pray for children who spend all of their allowance before Tuesday, who throw tantrums in the grocery store and pick at their food, who like ghost stories, who shove dirty clothes under the bed, and who never rinse out the tub, who gets visits from the tooth fairy, who don't like to be kissed in front of the carpool, who squirm in church or at temple and scream into the phone, whose tears we sometimes laugh at, and whose smiles make us cry, whose tears I just dropped my paper, as has happened before, and I'll see if we can get that happened the very first episode. Who gets visits from the tooth fairy, who don't like to be kissed in front of the carpool, who squirm in church and in temple, and who scream into the phone, whose tears we sometimes laugh at, and whose smiles can make us cry. We pray for those whose nightmares come in the daytime, who will eat anything, who've never seen the dentist, who aren't spoiled by anyone, who go to bed hungry and cry themselves to sleep, who live and move but have no being. We pray for children who want to be carried, and for those who must. For those we never give up on, and for those who don't get a second chance. For those we smother, and for those who will grab the hand of anyone kind enough to offer it. Remember, like Princess Tiana lights up when she talks about her dreams. Embrace your dreams and the desires of your heart, and make that your experience. All right, very good. Did we have some bread here? So we've got bread, we've got our wonderful gumbo, we've got our wonderful rice to go along with the gumbo, we've got a beautiful salad that came directly from the garden outside, our lettuces came from the garden, our zucchini flowers come from the garden, and we have our wonderful gumbo here, which looks delicious as I'm going to jump inside of this pot. And we've got our fantastic little baby beignets, which are just delicious and gorgeous looking.
Yes.
All kinds of funny shapes, but taste wonderful.
They taste perfect.
All right, very good. And we have some nice warm bread ready to go. And that can be your Sunday dinner. I'm Denyce, and this has been Cooking with Denyce. Princess Tiana, I love you so much. Thank you so much.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me.
It was such a pleasure to see you and to see your work and to see all of your wonderful growth. I'd like to thank Ella, who helped me in the kitchen today, Thank you so much, Ella.
No problem.
I'd like to thank all of you who've been so loyal, who continue to support us and watch us. Thank you so very much for the support, which means everything to us. We will see you next Sunday for our big finale of season 1, our holiday special, which is going to be wonderful. I'm very, very excited and looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Happy World Opera Day. Listen to some opera today if you have an opportunity. And we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Robert.
We love you, Simone.
Bye.
We love you. We love you, Simone and Princess Tiana.
Of course. So good to see you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sing of good things, not bad. Sing of happy, not sad. Sing, oh, sing a song. Make it simple to last your whole life long. Don't worry that it's not good enough for anyone else to hear. Just sing a song.
I believe that, when she sings, you see the face of God. I was running to class and I ran into a girlfriend of mine and she said, Denyce, I just heard something so beautiful. You've got to come listen to it. And we heard this woman sing and it was the most exquisitely beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life. It really transformed me and changed my life from the second that I heard it.
I was 9 years old, and my mother took me to Jackson, Mississippi, to hear a great, great lady and great, great artist named Marian Anderson. I knew instinctively when this regal artist came out of the wings, I wanted someday to walk like that, to stand like that, and hopefully maybe even sound somewhere near that. And it worked out pretty good.
She said to me, Denyce, you have to govern your instrument. There'd be a tremendous amount of noise and chaos and stuff going on around you. She respects the gift that she's been given. She treats it and the art form itself with such care.
It needs all of you to be delivered. It needs everything you have, but you must enjoy giving everything you have. You must enjoy enveloping the love that will come back to you. Achievement has nothing except what it's supposed to be. It has no color. It has no religion. It has you and your God-given talent.
I believe that when she sings, you hear all that she is. It is in the deliciousness of her sound, and that tells her story.
I had nothing else on my mind except to be the very best, so that years later, I would be able to do what Marian Anderson did for me. I don't mean en couleur, I mean artistically speaking. It was broader than that, always was. That's what this country is about.